Hi, my name is Mr. Cadella, and today I'm going to show you how to glaze your clay projects. Now here's a project that has not been glazed. It's just what we call a bisque project right now. Now right here is a glaze project, and you can see the difference. The glaze will make it really shiny. The colors will be absolutely beautiful. So first we're going to take the lids off our glaze, and when I take them off, I'm going to lay the lid down so that I can still read the names there. I'm using scrap paper and I have my brushes right here. Now when you dip your paintbrush into the glaze, you just want to dip the tip just like that. Okay, and then you're going to start brushing on the glaze. Now you'll notice when you start brushing on the glaze, when you start putting the glaze on, it goes on just like paint. You want to use multiple coats or multiple layers, so even though it may dry really fast and look done, you want to go back over it after it's dry and put more on top. You want to do that 2 or 3 times. 3 is probably going to be the best. And you see sometimes when you're glazing, there's little holes, little dents, little crevices, things like that are hard to get glaze into. So you dip the brush back into the glaze, just dip the tip again, and you kind of poke the glaze, just kind of dab it in there, just like that. You just kind of dab the glaze into those hard to reach areas. For example, I'll put it right up here, and you see there's still some white spots left. So I just take my brush and just kind of dab it in. Now when you are going to glaze your projects, the most important thing to remember, other than getting a lot of glaze on your project to make it look beautiful, is you don't want to glaze the bottom. Let's say you got some glaze on the bottom on accident, just like that, okay? You could just take a wet paper towel and wipe that off. Sometimes it stains it a little bit. You can still see a little bit of the color there, but that's fine. As long as you got most of it off, that's good. Because if you don't get the glaze off the bottom and we put it back into the kiln, it will glue itself to the kiln. And that's not a good thing, of course. Here's another coil pot project. Now, this would have a lot of places where you would have to dip the tip here and dab it into those cracks and crevices. Now, if something else touches the bottom or touches the table, like the bottom of this handle right here, that can't get glaze either. So basically, anything that touches the table cannot get glaze. So let's take a look at another way we can glaze our project. Here's another little example. Now notice that this little piece came off the little unibrow there. What we can do is get some glaze, put some glaze on one side, and put some glaze where it's going to touch. Lay my brush down back on the scrap paper there, and actually I can use that as glue. Now when it dries, it'll still move around a little bit, but inside the kiln, when it fires, it'll glue itself back together. And that's a good way to put pieces that maybe fell off on accident or maybe weren't scored and slipped very well together, to keep those back together. So to review, you're going to be glazing your whole project except the bottom. You don't want to get any glaze on the bottom. If you get any glaze on the bottom, you could wipe it off with the paper towel. You only dip the tip of the paintbrush. When you're done, you lay it down there on the scrap paper. Don't leave it into the cup or in the cup, and make sure that you can still read the labels there. And that's how you glaze your clay project.